All right, so day two of Inktober. The prompt for day two is Wisp, right? And I wasn't quite sure on what to draw for the word Wisp, uh, because I haven't necessarily seen a lot of stuff regarding the specific word, right? So I went online and I started searching for inspiration, and all I saw were paintings related to smoke and fog, and I've not really painted, I've not really drawn either of those things before. Well, to a great extent, that is. That usually, whenever I use smoke in my paintings, right, it's almost or fog. It's almost always an asset that I use to make the painting look complete. It's not necessarily the main subject of my painting. So I was like, all right, I want to paint something character related because that is my specialization. Character design and character illustration is what I mainly specialize in. So I was like, all right, fair enough. I wanna draw something smoke related and center it around a character. So that's what I did. I thought to myself, what's the one thing that I really want to see that relates to fog or smoke and can look really cool? And the only thing that popped up in my head again and again and again was a smoke creature that has regular human proportions but is entirely made of smoke. So I was like, all right, let me just draw that. So that's what I did. I wanted him to have this really fluid look, like to the way his body looked, right? I wanted, well, I mean, smoke and fog are constantly moving, right? So if there is a person who's composed mainly of fog and smoke, his body would be in constant motion. So that's what I wanted to specifically show in this drawing as well. I wanted him to have that really smoky, fluid look. And I didn't necessarily know how to do that. I didn't necessarily know how to draw something like that. So the closest thing that I could reference were clouds, right? And that is what I used for majority of this for this drawing as well. Clouds were the main thing that I referenced. Again, I wanted his look to kind of resemble the way Human Torch from the Fantastic Four looks. I am an extremely huge fan of the way fire-based powers look. I recently watched this movie. It's called Project Power. I watched it with a friend of mine, and there was this guy in the start of I think ASAP Rocky played that character. Um, and he basically eats the pill and his body lights up on fire, and it just looked phenomenal. Like the effects for that specific scene were outstanding, and that's what I wanted to kind of achieve with this painting as well. I wanted to have that really fluid look. I really wanted to have that entire I wouldn't say fire, but like really smoky look going for his entire body, and that's what I went with. I then went ahead and added the background, which is essentially more smoke and fog, except I applied Gaussian blur to it. Gaussian blur, that's a little tip that I would personally give to anyone who's trying to create something that looks, well, even semi cinematic. You want something to look cinematic, make the foreground and the background out of focus, which would put the focus on the primary subject of the painting or the drawing that you're making, which gives it this really cinematic look. And that is what Gaussian blur allows us to do. The software that I'm painting this in is Affinity Photo. Affinity Photo is my second favorite drawing app right after Procreate. I have used Procreate for about 4 years now, and I still use my old iPad Pro. I got this iPad Pro back in 2016, and I'm still using that. This device is probably going to be outdated in about a year, but it still works really well. So that's what I have been using. And as far as equipment for my main computer is concerned, I use an old Wacom Bamboo. Again, I used to be at a point that I find a lot of people at as well, uh, where this notion of wanting to have the latest bleeding edge tech, uh, and that being the thing that creates good artwork is concerned with, right? Like, I used to be at a point when I used to think the same thing, and I used to think I have to have the latest Cintiq, I have to have the latest Intuos Pro or whatever else it was that was in the market that just came out. Uh, I used to think that that was the thing that would really push my art to the next level. And over a period of time, I realized that that's not really true. And I've been told by numerous people who do art or design for a living that that's not necessary. It's not needed to create professional level artwork. And when I was younger, I used to think that they were not really, I thought that they were just talking smack, but it's actually quite true because I saw people making professional level artwork with tablets that are still, well, still functioning and are older than this one. And that really surprised me. My grandmom got this for me when I was really young, and I didn't know how to use this back then. But now, over a period of time, this has become my primary tool along with my iPad that allows me to create the things I create. Uh, Most of the work I'm doing on my books is done using these two devices. Uh, and honestly, I mean, obviously, having new tech helps. It does. I'm not going to deny that. Having latest technology will obviously help because it can handle a lot of the things that, I mean, professional artists need. But that being said, just because you don't have that does not mean you can't create some professional level artwork. Don't let the tablet be the thing that stops you. It used to be the thing that stopped me. And I honestly, if I can help somebody out and tell them that it's going to be okay regardless of whether you have the latest tablet or not, then I want to do that. And that is exactly what I'm doing. So, I mean, this whole thing is drawn using this old bamboo, right? And yeah, I mean, it turned out pretty okay, I guess. So yeah, 90% of the things that I do, whether it's all the personal projects that I handle or my commissions, it's all done using these. So yeah, that I just want to reiterate that. Again, what I'm doing at this specific point is just trying to figure out the way the colors would look on the painting and everything. I color created the whole thing and added a very desaturated mint blue to his body, and then I started erasing off the dark part of his face, creating this lovely rim light look. Again, that wasn't on purpose. I accidentally did that. But then I really liked the look. So I was like, all right, let me just like double down on it. And I ended up like scraping off half the paint, half the base color on this side. Uh, and I'm particularly pleased with the result because it wasn't on purpose. But again, accidents like these are what create artwork that stands out, to be very honest. Because the one thing I've learned over however many years I've been drawing for is if you allow yourself to make these mistakes, if you allow yourself to use the tools you don't know how to use, or even the tools you know how to use in a manner that's a little different from the way you would use it at the first go, do it. It would honestly do number one, no harm. Number two, there's a very strong possibility that you'll end up creating something really cool looking. Because I mean, I used to think that this was something that was really cliche, like back in the day when I heard people tell me, oh, push your boundaries and like, just push your limits and, go out of your comfort zone and all of that. And I was like, sounds pretty cliche. Not really. Like that's the only thing I've realized over a period of time, over this entire period of me just drawing. Like that's the one thing I've realized. It's not cliche to push yourself and try something new. Try it, go ahead, do it. You're gonna have fun doing it. It's gonna make you uncomfortable. It's gonna be stressful, maybe, but it's gonna be worth it. Because if you make a mistake, you learn from it. You learn what to not do the next time you make something. And if you end up with a really cool looking painting, then you're welcome. Uh, no, but if you end up with a cool looking painting, then you have one more thing in your arsenal that you can use to create something that's very aesthetically pleasing. And again, all of that comes with pushing your limits. And that's what I want to tell people as well. Go ahead, push your limits, try something new, uh, create something different. Again, Inktober is specifically created for the same purpose as well. It's to try out something new. It's to practice, 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 practice. Create something every day for about a month straight. Uh, and yeah, you do that on a regular basis, and I assure you, your work is going to improve. I am not at a point where I can say I am an all knowing professional. I am not. I am learning the same way you are. Uh, but I created this channel and I'm creating these videos consistently now because I want to have something that people can look at and think, oh, wait, he's doing the same thing that I'm trying to do. He's going through the same thing that I'm going through. I mean, he's trying to figure his craft out the same way I am. And that is essentially what this channel is for. It's not, I'm not a teacher. Heck, I'm quite young. I don't think I'm at a point where I can teach people specifically. This channel is specifically for documenting the way I make things, the way I draw things, the way I paint things. That is essentially what this channel is. It's just a documentation of the way I go ahead in my art journey, and I want to take you guys along with me on that. And that is essentially what this is. Uh, so yeah, I'm almost done with the painting at this point. Like, I don't really have a lot left. All I do is at the very end, I liquefy the proportions uh, of his body, and I add chromatic aberration to the painting. Chromatic aberration is a slight discoloration that happens during printing when the printing ink, like the different inks that they have, overlap each other, and that's what chromatic aberration does, and that's what halftones do in printed material as well. And yeah, I am done with the painting. That's what it looks like side by side. The one on the left is what I end up with. The one on the right is what I think uh, should have been the final, but like, I mean, then again, there's no harm in trying something new, like I said. I honestly like the black and white inked version a tad bit better than the left one. But I mean, the left one looks like something that I haven't necessarily done before. So, no harm, no foul, I guess. And yeah, this was extremely fun to do. Again, I'm going to be uploading day three's video as well. That's gonna come out tomorrow. The prompt for tomorrow is Beast. I am probably gonna end up drawing the Hulk or something along those lines, and that again is something that I'm looking forward to as well. So tune in tomorrow, and I'll be here with another video for you guys. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and if you guys want to see something specific, if you guys want to see me draw something specific for Inktober or in general, please let me know. I am not too strict about the way I'm following the prompt list. So if you want to see something specific, please let me know. If I get enough of the same requests, I'll end up painting that instead of one of the things on the prompt list. So yeah, that's gonna be there. So please like, subscribe, comment. Uh, Links for my socials in the description. Please leave a follow if you want to see more of my work. If you're interested in seeing more of my work, I upload majority of my work first on Instagram. So the links for that, so the link for that is gonna be in the description as well. And yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Thank you very much.